Alright guys, Supreme Kami here. So it is time to talk about number 6 build project material. So can't believe we are over here talking about the 6 build project material. It seems like yesterday when we had the first one, having that new Xeon, and then now all the way now we have the Gundam Groundsel, and then we have the Gram Acre. That should be the Awakening of the Trailblazer as far as the AI palette. So those are going to be the two options for this 1 month over here. So as far as those 20 material, how do you want to use it? What do you want to get? I think first things first, we should talk about the actual palette. We have the Gram Acre himself. As far as the palette goes, you do, some notable factor is the fact this unit or this palette is right here is gonna have access to middle shooter and then long shooter. So if you want to juggle in between depending on your part trade, definitely go for that. I think that should be fairly good. And then another noticeable feature is this one does have access to commander, which is something that is not too common in anyway. Even now, I would feel like having access to the commander tag is like very rare. So this happening is good. As well. As far as the portrait goes, right at the bat, this one does need commander, so this one is definitely geared towards using that specifically. So we can definitely take a look at it after alteration, and then take a look at it. What is it as far as the secondary trait pilot wise here? As far as the stat goes, this is how it is, how it looks like after alteration. I would say the stat department definitely has dropped drastically as far as the shot defense compared, let's say, to some of the other build project pilot. Let's say Camille. I think he's definitely in terms of stat definitely the best one that we have in a way. As far as the secondary part trade, we do have a back part EXQ boosted by 35%. So this part of it, I do want to discount the fact that it may not be that good because not everyone may be using a back part EXQ, so that is definitely understandable. But I feel like this one is just a very solid option. So if you guys do not mind, spending if I take it onto him, that should be very good. Just having this one specifically going to be for your for, let's say, for shop build, so that's going to be good. So you wouldn't really have to worry about getting another, let's say, AI palette for like a very long time. But as far as the Groundsel itself, we do have 9 parts. So as far as the material goes, we only do have enough to get 4. But if you do want to get the AI palette, so that is gonna make it into 3. And then if you do want to alterate some parts, you're down to 2. So it's kind of, you do have to think about, all right, what kind of part do you want to get? But I'll have to say, as far as the Gundam Ground, so it's more for the aesthetic in my opinion. I wouldn't really go for any specific portrait in a way, just because of how kind of power creep it has been, with those 40% trade, 50% trade, those damage plus trade. So yeah. As far as how it looks like in game, so I does not have the torso yet, so I'm actually going to be using the latest TR6 torso as a replacement, but I think it is actually similar to that, so that's why I'm using that. But this is pretty much how it looks like. So I think as far as aesthetic, the part that I would definitely go for first for aesthetic wise is definitely going to be head part. I wouldn't think we have another fancy looking head like this one in a sense. Other than that, the other one could be, let's say, your leg part if you want. I think that is fairly similar to the original standard TR6. So I mean, like, give or take, does have a longer leg extension at the bottom. As far as the back part, this is a little bit bigger because those are going to be your funnels. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of the noticeable feature that I would say, yeah, go for them because it looks cool and stuff. But we shall take a look at the alteration, and then let's see if we can point out anything that's really worth mentioning in a sense. So as far as Groundsel, it's gonna be 9 parts. So this one does have the ability to go up to 7-star parts, so that's definitely something to kind of keep in mind as well. This one, you guys already know me, I'm not really the biggest fan of the awakening skills right here, but like I said again, the head part is simply for the aesthetic, so I wouldn't really mind getting it. As far as the torso goes, this is how the original how it should looks like. So that's why I say it's very similar to the TR6 lineup. Torso wise, it's not going to be anything too special, so this one is definitely going to be a hot skip for me. As far as the arm goes, stat wise is like, I wouldn't call this anything too spectacular. Even some of the, let's say, standard 7-star may even compete with the following set that we're looking at. High firepower in the close combat, those are going to be your fallen word tag. As far as the portrait goes, it is going to be a double power melee power boosting, but I'm like, at this point in time, 30% slash a 35%, it's just kind of outdated. No matter how you put it, if you're like a free to play player or even like a new player, this is just something that is not going to be too beneficial in a way. I know it's a free to play part, well, at this point in time, but like it's just not really worth it, right? This one is really, let's say in terms of the condition, it's just so niche. It's only gonna be for a P attribute, and it's only gonna be for like a melee build. Like nowadays, in terms of portrait, everything is kind of like everyone can use it. No matter if you're like a shot-based build, melee-based build, auto straight are kind of geared towards like EXQ power boosting. So essentially, everyone can use it. So there's not really like only melee can use it, only shot can use it, and etc. So yeah, that's why I would say it's definitely updated in terms of how like what this one is doing. But I mean, if you want to get the arm, go for it, but I would not really recommend getting that. As far as the leg part goes, leg part is going to be for the aesthetic again. This one's going to be the funnel, A plus pierce and A minus power, so it should be performing fairly well. And this one does need to alteration. I believe prior to alteration, we should only be looking at a D power, or C power. So I think maxing it out should be C power only. So yeah, this one, if you do want to perform good, definitely do have to alterate it because C power is just not gonna cut it. The back part is probably another noticeable one to get as far as portrait goes, because this one does have the ability to give you that buff trait. But I mean, in terms of buff trait, we have gotten a few, I believe standard and limited. I think the last limited that we gotten was the what is it, the Financial Liberta. That one is probably the best one that we have like to this day, because as far as back part goes, we just don't get a lot of these buff EXQ treatment like some of the other part has been getting. So but this one is specifically going to be for the melee build, obviously with the close combat and then the melee power boosted by 35%. But if you do want to throw this into your shot based build, because it just as far as the buff trait goes, you can throw it in any build and it will work, right? You also do have high firepower, so you can definitely bridge into some pretty nice shot build. But stat wise, is obviously you wouldn't really be looking at it because these are going to be the following stat. I will even say some of the more recently released 7-star standard part will even have nearly the same or if not close as far as that goes. So this one is pretty bad, I would have to say. But like I said again, if you want it for the aesthetic, because this unit is definitely unique, you can kind of call it. But as far as the back part goes, this one is just so similar to the Epion, so I would definitely use that one as a substitute as needed, just to save yourself some of the material. Going over to the beam scythe here, so this one is going to be, this is definitely something that I did not get originally, just because I didn't need something of this caliber. So this one is going to be the Evil Punisher. So I mean, I don't know, I don't even know how the EXQ animation looks like, so can't tell you much more than that. So yeah, pretty much the status, even the status bad. Whoosh, only 4,000 14,000, like my gosh, definitely got that power crap going on for sure. This one we got the Sinister Spiral. So this one is good. I see my friends use it, and I think it hits like a truck, so if this is something you want to get, definitely do so, because this one is a whip category, so you can definitely, I want to put this on a main build, to be honest, just because of the fact that as far as the whip category, we just don't have any good option. So this one, if you want to get it, is simply just for the EXQ. As for like, let's say trying to push it for the stat, it's just sub slot. Your sub slot is just gonna hurt because there's no option, right? So kind of unfortunate. I mean, like, if you just want it for EXQ, that's fine. But as far as, let's say, the actual port itself for the stat, no, definitely not. And we do have the Groundsel Beam Saber, and this one it looks good. The doesn't that Beam Saber looks like, let's say, the Valkyrie Gundam? I think it looks very similar. This one is not bad. This one does give you a enemy melee power, or yeah, enemy melee power reduced by 30%. So, but we do have something better that is in a standard category, not standard, welfare category. So, no, this one is definitely no, not really worth it. And last but not least, we do have the beam wrap. What is it? That beam wrap looks funny. As far as the beam rifle goes, we do have some industry charge boosting. So these, we have been getting those 25% already. So these you can kind of technically call it outdated. But I believe in terms of standard option, we should have something of this caliber. So not really worth it unless, like I said again, you're trying to go for the aesthetics. So but other than that, that is going to be pretty much it in terms of the Gundam Ground. So definitely a lot of part has been updated. Style wise, it's just not going to be impressive, but in terms of the aesthetic, for the looks and design, definitely still 10 out of 10, just because we have not gotten something of that nature. As far as, let's say, the AI pilot, do try to go for Grand Acre if you do need something for the shooting based build, because I feel like Grand Acre is definitely going to be a very, very beneficial one that you guys can be investing into those AI nippers and stuff. But with that said, that is going to be pretty much it as far as this number 6 build project material review, and then I'll be catching you all on the next one.